Hey y'all, welcome back to another Teen Book Babble. I'm Hayley, and today I'm going to be talking about The Reappearance of Rachel Price, a mystery thriller novel by Holly Jackson. She also wrote the series A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, so if you liked that, I highly recommend this book. So, this story follows Belle Price, whose entire life has been shadowed by the disappearance of her mom, Rachel. Her mom vanished without a trace, abandoning Belle, and Belle was the only witness. Except she was only 2 years old and has no memory of what happened. Now Belle is 18 years old and is part of a documentary about Rachel's disappearance. Despite her only being a baby when it happened, Belle is constantly asked about that day and what she thinks happened. Does she think her mom ran away? Was she taken? Is her mom even alive at this point? For Belle, she believes her mom chose to leave her behind that day and probably died not long after. And because of that, the only people who matter to her are her dad, Charlie, and her cousin, Carter, because they're the people who chose to stay with her. But Carter will leave her to go to college one day, so it's really just her dad who's always there for her. Even though her mom means basically nothing to her, her dad wanted everyone in the family to participate in this documentary. And if her dad thought it was a good idea, then so did Belle. While filming the documentary, Belle gets annoyed at one of the actors who's been hired to play her mom for a reenactment and runs off set to go home. And that's when she runs into none other than Rachel Price herself. She's clearly injured and not doing well. She's even wearing the clothes she disappeared in 16 years ago, although they're basically rags at this point. Once they get home, Belle gets Rachel's story of how she was kidnapped, trapped in a basement, and eventually let go. And then she listens to Rachel tell the story to her dad, and she says something slightly different. It could be a slip up. After all, she's been in a really traumatic situation for years. But Belle believes Rachel's lying. And if she's lying about where she's been, she's probably lying about why she came back and could be dangerous. So Belle digs into her family's past to figure out what really happened to Rachel all those years ago and finds way more than she thought she would. Turns out, Rachel isn't the only one hiding something. I don't want to give anything away, so you're just going to have to read it for yourselves to figure out the mystery of the reappearance of Rachel Price. I will say that I could not have predicted how this book ends. I am genuinely tempted to start reading it again just to find all the clues Holly Jackson left throughout. The Reappearance of Rachel Price is available in print at Fountaindale and on Libby as an ebook.
Hello, my name is Freya. Thank you for joining me for a book babble. I am here to talk about Mooncakes. So Mooncakes is a gorgeous graphic novel written by Suzanne Walker, illustrated by Wendy Zhu, and the lettering is done by Jamette Jill. So this is a fantasy romance that was released in October of 2019. It is the only book in a series, and it is still quite popular. So in this book, we have Tam, who is an old friend and crush of Nova's, and they are back in town. Things aren't that simple because there's also a demon that is suspiciously back in town at the same time. And only Tam and their werewolf powers have the power to stop this demon. And it is not an easy task because werewolves are not accustomed to using magic. So the two are going to have to do lots of research, lots of investigating, and figure it out. Can they figure out how to stop this demon? Well, you're going to have to check this book out to figure it out. And I would highly recommend you do so because this book is just so cute and happy and adorable. Despite the fact that this book has so many deep themes like death, belonging, and found family, it still manages to be really lighthearted and adorable. It features two diverse characters that are just an amazing couple. Even without words, it's really clear that the two just want to be together, and you can't help but root for them. And seriously, just look at these amazing illustrations. They are just so cute, so adorable, just the best. So, if you want to check out Mooncakes, there are a few different places to do it. First, you can find it outside the Vortex in the teen area, along with our other graphic novels here in Fountaindale. But it's also quite popular, so you have a few other options as well. You can check out the digital version on Hoopla with your library card, or, like I did, if it's all checked out, you can get a copy from one of the other Pinnacle libraries by reserving it and putting a hold. That's what I did. This copy is from the Lamont Public Library. So thank you all so much for listening, and I hope you have a good one, and I hope you check out Mooncakes.
Hello everybody, my name is Desmond and I am one of the new teen service specialists here at Fountaindale Public Library, and this is my first ever book babble, and the book that I chose for the month of April was If You'll Have Me by Eunnie. I've actually been following the author and artist on Tumblr and was there when they got I say there as if it's like I was physically in the room, but I was following them at the time when they got picked up by Viking Publisher House. So this is their first ever graphic novel. It is not a part of a series, but I hope to see more from them because their art style is just divine. So basically this is a romance novel and it follows two women. You have Momo right here. She's super sweet, very academic oriented, and then you have PG, who's more of like the typical bad boy, except it's bad girl, and she's more of like the lone wolf, basically known for kind of not being one for relationships, kind of jumping around, from from person to person, just not really ready to be committed. And the story starts off with them realizing their feelings for each other and along the way also dealing with a lot of conflicts that arise. So you have like PG's past relationships kind of coming back to bite them. And then you also have, how friends are very protective, like good friends are very protective. And then there's times where they could overstep, which is definitely the case with Momo's best friend. I adore her, but at the same time, it's also like, you need to chill. But, the one thing that I really like about all of these is the fact of how realistic it is, because all of these problems were not they were developed enough where it made the story interesting, but not over exaggerated to the point of being ridiculous, if that makes any sense. You can find this book actually in our graphic novel collection, which is going to be right outside the Teen Vortex. It says new on here, but it'll likely be in its regular spot. So if you ever need any help, you could always ask one of the teen, one of me, or you could ask one of my other coworkers. But I need to show you guys. This is another reason I love the art. Like, look how cute it is. I love the colors and I love the art style. It's just very it's not over the top. It's personable and it brings out each personality of the character. That is my pick for April. Please give If You'll Have Me by Eunnie a read, and I will see you guys next month. Bye.
Hello, Voices in My Head. I'm Alex, a teen services specialist at Fountaindale Public Library, and I'm here to do what I do best and encroach upon your reading time with cutesy love stories that make me very, very happy. This time I'm here to talk about Quintessential Quintuplets by Negi Haruba. Following our main character, who obviously cannot be on the main cover, Futaro Isugi is a good student who works hard to stay on the high academic ladder that is Japanese school, and he has to do everything he can to possibly stay there all the time. Due to financial constraints, though, that happen because his family is in poverty, he has to be thrusted the job of tutoring these five daughters of a very wealthy family, and he has a lot quite a lot to put up with in terms of their very different surface level personalities that eventually, as the story goes on, will develop into far more complex problems that he has to deal with. For now, we just know that their grades are horrible and they don't trust him. So what I liked about the book, Quintessential Quintuplets is very cute. Initially, the first page is literally saying one of these 5 girls are going to marry Futaro and become wed. But obviously they're quintuplets, so they all look the same, and the first photo really stages it as you have no idea which of the 5 is going to be wed to Futaro. You just know one of them is going to. So this automatically starts off, because there's 5 girls and we already know that one of them wins. So this starts up a very heated discussion in a lot of circles, which becomes what we call in the business waifu wars. We don't like to use that kind of talk, but that is unfortunately what happens if you have some sort of discussion. Someone's going to say, I like this person better, I like this person better, I like this person better. You can't see her eyes, but I chose this person because I like short hair. That's why I chose Nanako. You're also going to forget names. You are going to forget names so hard. You will only remember the one person the one girl among the 5 that you like the best, and our main character, Futaro. Going just off the cover, this is Itsukushi, this is Yotsuba, this is Nino, this is not Nino, this is Miku. This is Nino, this is Nanako, and I think that's everyone. I did it. I don't know how I did it. I don't have it written down whatsoever. But I like all the characters. Initially, you're definitely gonna have an aversion towards Nino, who is our very stuck up, very confident, very blunt. Like initially, the one that is the most hostile to our main character. But you start seeing inklings of her being a nice person, because obviously you can't have the character just be completely horrible to the main character the entire time without developing, because she is also one of the love interest, and through and through all the characters care about their sisters but in particular she is the most aggressively protective of all her 4 other sisters, which is that might be an appealing thing in some people. Yotsuba, who has her trademark green bow, which comes up at some point because it's a big part of her. So, and it's really adorable. She's very much our energetic and cheerful character who loves to please, who is a people pleaser. Whenever they ask her for favors, she will never say no, and she loves sports. But obviously, it comes a lot more things come out than just that surface level kind of stuff. Itsukushi might be the person that she's right on the forefront. She's the person that you think that will be the most put together among the 5. You see her, you think she has to have her things together among her 4 other sisters. But she is definitely intelligent and confident, but starts showing inklings of being a father figure almost in the group, where she has a lot of problems that might show up. But last of all, we have Miku. This is Miku. We have Miku. She is very much the shy, introverted among the 5, who is very much in the clouds and loves her books. That is initially what we get of her. She's the slowest to get to a point where she like starts having feelings for the main character, and this all gets bottled up. It starts developing. It's very cool. I love seeing this character develop, even though she's not my favorite. I genuinely love seeing a introvert coming out of their shell and then vocalizing what they want, and it's to be happy, to get good grades and get the guy, even though it means having to compete with her sisters. You can find Quintessential Quintuplets in print at Fountaindale Public Library, just outside the Vortex. Goodbye.